Well, good day, viewers. Today we're working on a 1982 Camaro. It's crossfire fuel injected, but we're changing this belt molding along the bottom edge of the window. It's all brittle and hard from age, understandably. And I've already changed the one on the driver's or on the passenger side. Took the door panel off. I had to change a window motor in there. That's in a previous video. And it was a bit of a challenge, especially getting at some of the screws at the top of this belt molding. But there's the new window seal on this side. And it's been painted, so there's a paint line here where it was masked before, but I can't do anything about that. Anyways, I'll bring you along as we take this door panel off on the driver's side. So here's the kit that I bought off of Rock Auto, and this is the inner belt molding, or sorry, the outer belt molding on glass. This kit comes with the ones on the inside too, but the inside ones are in pretty decent shape on this, and they're sort of melted into place, so I reuse the original ones. So there are 3 T30 screws, one here, and one through the handle, and you'll need a long bit like I have here. You need a T15 for these 2 screws here. This plastic cover is just a cosmetic cover here, so it just pops off. And this one on this side has got the mirror controls, which are cable operated, so that's likely going to have to be detached in there as well. So let's get started. So as I mentioned, there's a plastic panel here. It just clips off, just push down slightly on the top edge of it. And there's a hidden screw underneath there. Now this panel needs to slide back to disengage from a clip at the front, or a little lip at the front. And note that this screw in here is shorter than the 2 at the back. This one's about 3/4 of an inch. Actually, this one on this side is a countersunk screw. The other side wasn't, but I'm sure this door has been apart before. So to get the lock knob off, you have to pull out from the back, and if you look in there, you can see the back of the plastic knob. So you have to go in there with a pick and pry it. Sometimes it'll pop off, sometimes it won't, because that knob has to come off. So you can see how that rod pops in there. It's just got 2 clips. Now I'll show you how to disconnect this thing. I'm going to see if you got to pull it back to unlatch it from the front. This doesn't have screws on it. I need 2 hands. Well, isn't that fun? Now this window was working, but it was working quite slow, so I planned to lubricate the guides and tracks in here. But now I just went to roll it down. And it stops. So this one needs a window motor as well. The customer's going to be really pleased. Well, we'll take the door panel off. So because of this mirror control, and you see it's 3 little cables, they used to have a set screw and take this off, but I'm sure this is going to go through this hole after. There's 2 screws on the back of this, and then you can pull this out. So turn this thing counterclockwise so that you can get it off of the door handle, and disconnect that rod at the same time. So this can stay here. Now the door panel is held on with push pins. There's plastic clips. There's about 15 of them around the circumference of the window or the door panel. So we'll go in with a pry tool such as this here and pry them one at a time out of the way, off. by rights, the window should be rolled right down. It's clipped over top of this. Working with old panels like this because they're so brittle. Supposed to have the window down all the way. Let's see if it'll go down some more. Control through. So you can see all the push pins around the outside edge of the door. This seal is not bad. Now, one of the challenges you have to getting at this molding here is that you got to take this piece off here. This screw is accessible, this screw is accessible, this one is accessible, and this one is accessible. But there's one here and one here that you can't get at. Now on the other side, I had the window regulator out, so I dropped the window regulator, but it didn't make any difference. So I'm not going to bother. Well, I might have to change the window regulator motor on this one if I can't get it working by lubricating it. This has been apart before. There's contact cement on it. I used some seam sealer caulking. You glue that paper back on. This window regulator is riveted in place, so you need a 1/4-inch steel pop rivet gun. This little clip here holds this in the right spot. That was missing on the other side. Yeah, I managed to get the trim out with the little tiny 1/4-inch drive screwdriver and a plastic wedge to hold the window in place. So there's a screw here. Because we got to take this seal out of the way. Making sure I was recording. Screw here. There's a screw here. And this is kind of glued in place. That's okay, we just have to push it out of the way to get at this screw here. These are really short screws, they're only about a 1/4-inch long. I tried to see if there was a stop on the bottom of the window motor, but the window guide track is all the way down to the bottom of the window, or bottom of the door. Okay. So this seal is glued on here. Feel the glue. So, we need some wrenches here, because there's a 10 mil here, a 10 mil here, and two 10 mils in here, because we've got to take this triangular filler out. I'll show you. So there's two 10 mils there. Don't take them right out because there's a sliding plate on the back, so I found you can loosen them off about a ½ inch. There's a 10 mil bolt there, and this adjustment nut. Take this off, and then this will weasel out of here with a little bit of finagling. So loosen off, remove the nut off here, the bolt off of here, and loosen off those two studs, tilt it in, and then you can pull this out. You can weasel it out of here just barely in one spot or another. Actually, it doesn't need to be removed completely. There's the screw behind it. So I did get it out. You can wiggle it out, just got to manipulate it just the right way, and it comes out past this bracket. Don't remove those two bolts completely, because that metal plate will fall down in behind. Anyways, now we got access to this screw. So I put a wedge in there, and I've got this modified ratcheting screwdriver with a short cut-off bit here that'll allow me to get in there now and get these two screws out. So there's a window stop right up here. If you take that off, you can even wedge the window out even further, so that gives me even more room for this back screw. So there's the window lip seal out. I'm going to clean this off with some glass cleaner. You can see that it's brittle as hell. Rock hard. 42 years will do that, I think. This little westward bit set worked fantastic here, but I still had to cut the bit off so that it's ultra short, and I stuffed it in there with a piece of plastic so that it doesn't fall out. All right, that's it. Well, there it is back together. Use the original markings from the washers to put this back in the same spot it was before, and then make sure it lines up. Now, this window motor is weak. See, it's stopped. So the circuit breaker keeps tripping in the window motor. It's likely worn out. So I'm going to leave this door panel off and discuss this with the customer. I guess we'll have to change this window motor as well. That wave regulator is a pain in the ass to get out. But I'm going to take a look. Well, no point checking the alignment, because if I have to take the window regulator, I'll have to realign the window anyways. This looks like it's been replaced before because it doesn't have the rivets. See how the rivets have the steel pin in the center? These ones don't. These are like the ones I installed on the other side. Well, that's it for now. I'll make another video when I change this window motor.